It's fortunate. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Om Bhuvasva Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Yeah. So we'll start with whoever wants to share as to what his or her journey has been, or what brought him, what are the sanskars which you had, which brought you here. Because obviously to hear this and to follow it is not easy, as we know. Okay, it's not so simple, it can be very confusing. And sustaining it means that there are some sanskars which you carry, which sustains it. It is not so straightforward. Right? So many people registered, and we are possibly half of that. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 60%, but that doesn't matter. What matters is whom we have, and are we getting something out of it to help us in our own lives. So please start.
Would you like to start? I'm the old. Or maybe Meena would start.
It's just when we started it, I just felt, that we're just leading our lives aimlessly. I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I think once we started, some direction, some path, makes it more worthwhile. So it has helped a lot, and maybe a little bit.
So how did you in your life come across that you should do Gita? What was that?
It's just, without any aim, without any goal, you're just living your life. I mean, there's nothing to it. There's, it's
So now
it's
you
just
think there is.
aimless, I would say. Some direction, some, if you go through it, it gives you, day to day problems that you can solve easily, that you can encounter, that your responses to others, your own reactions. So it's just a general. So it has definitely, brought out a little better in me.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, my mother, she was my role model. I think every child, but I really thought she was the one person to be copied. And she used to read Gita every day, and I couldn't, like that time I tried, but it didn't kind of stay with me. And then one of my very close friends told me that she is Swami Sarvanand. She told me, "Unki Gita suno." Listened to him, and I was towards it. But once I read आपके group में कि you are starting, somehow something told me that I have to join. And now whenever I am, I don't know what to do. Sometimes I'm very at a crossroads because I'm doing a project, and that time it really this Gita has helped me, to keep my calm, to keep make a decision. I don't know in what way, but it has really giving me a lot of balance and that.
Anchored you.
Yes, I think it has.
I jotted down the minute you said, whatever came to my mind, I just wrote it down. So I just read it out. the day you put this on the group, early morning I was walking with Sujata and we were just discussing the Gita class. So, how we've been fortunate enough to come here. So, I feel fortunate that I got this opportunity to attend these classes. It was always my desire to understand the Gita and its message. I had attempted reading the shlokas many times, but I wasn't able to get past many chapters. I even tried to just open the Bhagavad Gita randomly, read one shlok, and try to understand that shlok. Because somewhere I had read that the Gita gives you all your answers. You get your answers in the Bhagavad Gita. So the day I was faced with some problem, I would just open randomly and read. And to my surprise, I used to get answers. Maybe once or twice, and then I didn't get. So, I just gave up. So when this message came, I just grabbed this opportunity and I registered for the classes. These classes have definitely been helpful in trying to understand the Gita as the text. There may be still some parts where I have doubts, but I do understand that there are many perspectives and I need to interpret and understand yet. So, I might take from these classes one, that some circumstances and situations in my life are because of my prarabdha and my past karma. Yet, I have to be conscious of my present karma and always follow the path which is right. Then I need to direct my thoughts towards Vasudev. He is the one God. Meditate on him and pray to him. And like there are two extremes in life, similarly, in life there is despair and happiness. So I would like, in both these situations, I try to bring my focus to Vasudev, the Supreme. I would like to thank our Guru Rajanji as he is our guide on this journey and learnings are incomplete without a Guru. I hope I can continue on this journey.
Very nice. Nice. It's very well said.
Can share some of my thoughts. So I grew up in a home which was there was a very religious environment, and I would see my grandmother. In fact, that is what I remember from early childhood, and she used to have a temple, and like I used to help her to decorate the temple, to get fresh flowers, and she had a very nice sort of framed picture of Lord Krishna, which is still with my sister, and she used to read the Bhagavad Gita. So out of curiosity, I used to read it with her, but of course I never understood it, and it was in Sanskrit, and I still have that copy, which was printed in 1951. So I've kept it as a treasure with me. And then my parents, they used to visit their Guruji. He was a Virat sannyasi. He also didn't stay in any ashram. And so we used to listen to the spiritual discourses, and he would frequently give reference to Bhagwan Krishna ne aise bola. So, like right from early days, this impression was getting deeper and deeper that Bhagavad Gita was a very important sacred text. But somehow, whenever I tried to read it, it was very difficult to understand. Then later on, several years later, tried online access and listened to at least three Swamis. So one was Swami Sarva Priyananda, and I also listened to Swami Tadatmananda. He is an American, but he has his own ashram there in, I think, New Jersey or something. And also Mahamandaleshwar Swami of an ashram in Rishikesh. So that the one which Mahamandaleshwar Maharajji taught, it was again, he translated it into Hindi, explained it, but it was still a very Sanskritized Hindi. And what I heard from the others, some concepts were sinking in, but I couldn't find a practical application, what to do on a day to day basis, and how to translate those teachings into my daily practice. So, and I was also going through some very challenging situation on health account, on some family issues. And it was just then that I got to know that the Gita classes were starting. I mean, I thought it was a godsend opportunity. And although consciously I had not prayed to Bhagwan that I want to attend a Gita class, but I was just going on searching, inquiring into what is it that the Gita says and how do we have to mold our life as per the teachings of Bhagwan Krishna. So then
This happened.
this happened, and I found myself, you know, two, three concepts which sort of were fundamentally, I think I had misunderstood. One is the concept of sannyas. So I thought that actually leading a spiritual life meant withdrawing from activities. And that also became a little disconcerting with my family members. And but now, the concept of karam yoga and what is actually sannyas. So people at my home are happy with me. I am happy with them. Generally, and then that karam yoga and bhakti yoga are both actually paths to self-realization. And the transitioning from sagun to nirgun, I mean, that you have explained it so well. And also that in the first 6 chapters, all the time we were sort of talking about Atma and going inwards. And suddenly from chapter 7, we went to the entire creation. And so even that confusion about the manifestations of Bhagwan and the deities, and so really it's such a blessing, and I cannot thank Bhagwan enough, cannot thank you enough for the balance and the correct perception of what a spiritual life would be. So thank you again.
Thank you.
हम राजन जी के साथ साथ आपको भी सुनते हैं
उनकी सुनने की बात मैं आपको बताती हूँ इसलिए।
Actually, he guides and she understands and gives her
She
perspective.
communicates the summary of the chapter.
But
I feel you have a
feeling
recorder कहीं पे छुपा हुआ।
Oh, it's so nice.
So I'll say yes. So, I thought I have to, just say that I belong to a family which was atheist, an atheist family from the highest priestly class. So whether they liked it or not, I had to hear ek sentence mein, baat mein. I used to end up hearing the Upanishads and the Ved and Puran and Shrutis and Smritis and Gita and sentence mein, very westernized. My father and uncle studied in Cambridge. We were brought up on Bertrand Russell and Bernard Shaw, और ये साथ साथ चलता था. And I had no interest, they had nobody had anything, and everyone knew everything. And Sanskrit was almost spoken like a language at home, with English and French and all that. And now so what happened was 39 years ago, my husband got me interested in the Gita. And तब मुझे ऐसे लगा जैसे ये तो मेरा बेस्ट फ्रेंड है, वाली strange odd feeling I got. But that time, I forgot, and like a butterfly was flying around in my life, but इधर उधर से हो जाता था. So in short, I did 2 rounds of the Gita because Chinmaya Mission used to be in Delhi. They did 2 rounds of the Gita, so all my friends and I, we went and got exposed to those ideas and thought they were very nice, and they remained. And those things from childhood, I used to know iska matlab from a very deep level. I used to, but I didn't, till I came here, I didn't realize anything. And then a very dear friend Richa started the Gita class on Thursday here, so I could trust it, because I know Richa. So I went, and then you guys started. I'm so great, and that's why I keep looking at you as if in that puppy dog type way. Then the Tuesday class started, and I said, "Do times a week, best friend," and but I have to say that I really have to thank you, Rajan, because over all these years, what has been kept, which is very hard. I mean, for me, it's a very hard thing कि instead of 100 बातें and हम सब ज्ञानी हैं और सब ज्ञान बांटते फिरेंगे. Instead, this class has had a continuous sanctity. There's a feeling of respect, sanctity, and कोई बोलता नहीं सब, it remains the same, which is stable and the same. And respect for the material remains, not कि 100 लोग हैं तो 100 बातें चल रही हैं और हम सब कंफ्यूज, और ऐसा हुआ ही नहीं इतने सालों में in the Thursday or Tuesday class. And as a result, I feel now such an internal shift in myself, such a huge internal shift. Maybe it was planted then when I was, born. It's like I feel shocked. And today, like she was saying, I feel as if I'm internally a complete sannyasi. And everywhere I go around, I'm still like a butterfly laughing because I feel free. There's nothing has changed on the outside. Thank you.
Absolutely well said.
So can I say something?
Yes, please.
First of all, I want to thank you. So it's truly a joy to be here with all of you. I'm always felt drawn to the wisdom of the Gita, but only recently did I feel the urge to explore it more deeply. Life, with all its roles and responsibilities, often leaves little space for reflection, and I felt that need growing within me. So, what brought me here is a sincere desire to find more clarity, balance, and inner strength. I believe the Gita has something timeless to offer, something that speaks to each of us in a very personal way. I am here with an open heart, ready to listen, learn, and grow together with all of you on this beautiful path. Thank you. I want to tell you that I come from a family of like all this puja part and everything. Like it was always there. When I was very small and I came back from school, so in my nani's house there was always a satsang, daily satsang. It was there. So I like when I came back from school, I always used to sit down there for half an hour, 1 hour, whatever, because I liked it. A few things I liked very much. That things that my nanny told that time, and then that kirtan and everything. So I think this was there from the childhood itself. And then I already have read this Gita like 3 4 times because I used to read one chapter daily, but the depth of it is not like it is not known yet that much. So now that I'm joining these classes and I try to implement all the things in within me, so it changed my perspective, like how I see the world, how I see the problems, how I like handle with them. So it's there now. So now that you know that like they say karmanye vadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So whatever I do, I think that the God is there. तो फ्रूट उन्होंने ही देना है, हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते हैं. एंड देन अहंकार एंड like those 5 things which we have to leave, लोभ मोह क्रोध अहंकार, ये हमें छोड़ना है. तो कैसे छोड़ना है? वो यही छोड़ना है कि हमें कंट्रोल करना है. कि मान लो कि हमारे अंदर बहुत गुस्सा है, तो हमें उस चीज को कंट्रोल करना है कि अगर एक चीज पे हमें गुस्सा आ रहा है कि वी आर फीलिंग वेरी एंग्री, बट वी हैव टू कंट्रोल दैट एंगर एंड वी शुड नॉट लाइक respond like that. So if we can keep control on that, so it's a very big thing. If we can keep control on that, so which is very difficult actually in real life. जब गुस्सा आता है किसी चीज पे तो आता है, उसको कंट्रोल करना जो है वो ही एक बहुत बड़ी चीज है. तो ये सब चीजें अगर हम एक्चुअली अपनी लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं तो इस गीता को पाठ करने का या गीता की क्लासेस ज्वाइन करने का और इस चीज का फायदा हमें तभी मिलेगा, है ना. और वो जो चीजें दिमाग में चलती हैं when we come here, when we listen to all these shlokas and when we learn from these things, then this thing is going on in your mind always. When you are doing different things in your daily routine life, तब भी वो चीजें आपके दिमाग में चल रही हैं कि हमें ये नहीं करना है, हमें ये करना है, ठीक है ना. तो अच्छी चीजें वो हम करने की कोशिश करते हैं उस टाइम, तो वो हमें हेल्प करती है एक तरह से अच्छा बनाने के लिए, कंट्रोल करने के लिए किसी भी चीज का. जैसे ज्यादा जो भी वो कहते हैं काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार, है ना. तो यही मतलब है इसका. मेरे लिए यही मतलब है. मेरे लिए यही है कि जो कुछ भी अगर मैं कुछ गलत हो रहा है, जो कुछ मेरे को सफर करना पड़ रहा है या जो मेरे साथ अच्छा हो रहा है, वो सब मेरा कर्मा है. अच्छा भी कर्मा है, बुरा भी कर्मा है. तो वही इस बुक में हम पढ़ भी रहे हैं और सीख भी रहे हैं. तो ना अच्छे पे खुश होना है, ना बुरे पे दुखी होना है. अगर हम वो सीख गए तो फिर परमात्मा हमारे सामने ही है, फिर हमें मोक्ष मिल ही जाएगा, कभी ना कभी तो मिल ही जाएगा. तो थैंक यू सो मच.
Everybody could begin with their names because you know what has happened to me is, of course, I've been not absent actually. I really religiously go through your classes, but I don't know half the names. We just greet each other warmly from a distance. I find that very heartwarming.
Okay, please.
Gita Badis,
Give your
as I
name.
call them. But I don't know half their names. Right? Because it's embarrassing. Okay, what's your
Please
name?
tell your names.
Please.
Yeah.
Whoever has spoken,
Whoever has spoken has to.
नहीं सभी बोल दो.
Sorry.
सभी बोल सभी को लाइन
Those who speak.
ये राजन जी
हाँ.
I'm Dolly.
Anita.
साधना.
Sadhana, I didn't get it.
नाम साधना.
Sadhana. And who was Dolly? Sorry. You're Rohit.
दोनों ही है.
Prem.
I think she wants to say something.
ज्योति
अच्छा,
कपूर.
I think वो बोल रही. आप बोलना चाहते हो कुछ? आप बोलो. I think she wants to say something.
Gita class, actually, I have learned to accept people and situations in their, and that has led to much of peace of mind. I don't feel so perturbed rather, और ये भी साथ में कि रिएक्शन डे टू डे लाइफ में कि रिएक्ट करने की बजाय इट इज़ बेटर टू रिस्पॉन्ड देन टू रिएक्ट. सो ये सब दैट लीड्स टू पीस ऑफ माइंड. एंड और आई ट्राई कि थोड़ा आसक्ति रहित का थोड़ा कुछ अगर कहीं यही डेली रिएक्शंस में थोड़ा बहुत सोच के किया जाए, जिससे कि ये ना सोचा जाए कि मैंने कुछ किया है तो वो दूसरा कभी मेरे को मस्ट डू इट फॉर मी या ना. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई फील के दैट हैज हेल्प्ड एंड शैल ट्राई टू जो हो सके.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
थैंक यू राजा. बहुत रियली वेट फॉर द क्लास. 3 साल से हमारा यही है कि क्लास की वेट होती है कि कभी मजबूरी में मिस करनी पड़ जाए, अदरवाइज डोंट वांट टू मिस द क्लास.
Actually, the beauty is at the end of the class, we always take away something from there. So we all look forward to it because we know कि वहाँ से हम कुछ लेके ही जाएंगे, which is very, very important. As Minali, you were saying, right? There is a certain sanctity, seriousness. There's a purpose to the class. Everybody who's coming in is coming with a purpose to learn something and to improve themselves, which I think is is a very very beautiful
अपने अपने
outcome of
हिसाब
the
से जो
class.
जो जिसको जैसे
जो जितना grasp कर सके और
you
जितना
can
कर
learn
सके.
from.
That's
Even
it.
when
थोड़ा
you are
बहुत
lying.
तो सुना हुआ होता है कि प्रारब्ध है आपका पुराना कर्म है, बट ईच श्लोका इज लाइक अ रेवलेशन कि कुछ नया लेके जाते हैं, हर श्लोक में कुछ नया सीखने को.
और मैं ये देखती हूँ कि उसके बाद ना somehow I've come to a position, I shouldn't be using the word, पर वो ज्ञान हम बांट रहे हैं आगे. That's not right actually, but what is happening is that because one is learning and one is imbibing some of those things, तो उसमें से कुछ ज्ञान हम दूसरों को हेल्प करने के लिए भी शेयर कर सकते हैं. So there are so many circumstances, जैसे लोग puzzled होते हैं, agitated हैं, they call you. So मेरे को ये लगता है कि यहाँ से जो मैं ज्ञान ले रही हूँ, मैं थोड़ा उनके साथ शेयर कर रही हूँ, and I'm giving them some peace and stability in their lives. Because I think everybody is looking for an anchor in this life, I realized, right? सब परेशान हैं, सब उलझे हुए हैं. They want to talk to somebody and get some peace, but वो मिलता नहीं है. So if you have knowledge, अगर मेरे पास कुछ ज्ञान है और वो किसी के काम आ रहा है और किसी को उससे कुछ स्टेबिलिटी या हैप्पीनेस या पर्सपेक्टिव मिल रहा है, तो वो हम शेयर करते हैं, तो इट्स अगेन अ वेरी नाइस फीलिंग कि कुछ हम किसी को दे ही रहे हैं.
That's very nice, actually. Very well said. And Hana, also to add to that, the way you show up with other people, if you have evolved even a little bit, even if there's a 10% difference in your behavior and how you show up with others, that also creates a better energy in your family, in your home, in your workplace or anywhere.
It influences it.
Like
Yeah.
people have very positive energy.
There's a positive.
Like say, suppose you get into a conflict with somebody, an argument. If you now with your new gyan, you may respond in a different way. You may do something differently from what you would have done earlier. Maybe last year you would have got agitated. Now maybe you like become silent, or you kind of, just be quiet or whatever, and that then everybody calms down. So the way you show up also affects the others, in a positive way.
Absolutely.
I feel.
Yeah, like relationships are very, complicated in this world. So if someone is not behaving with you properly, you can think that, oh, maybe this is my karma, maybe I have done something bad to him or her, and now he is doing the same to me. So like you can give some comfort to yourself that okay, it's okay, कोई बात नहीं, मैंने भी कुछ किया होगा, शायद इसीलिए मुझे मिल रहा है.
Yeah,
That kind of
जाने
thing.
दो.
जाने
I
दो,
mean,
छोड़ दो.
You
हाँ.
accept the situation. I think one of my
हाँ.
greatest learnings has been
बिल्कुल.
that you accept certain things.
हाँ.
ठीक है, छोड़ दो.
Yeah.
And my second learning has been that I sometimes used to get very negative thoughts, right, about others. But that is now slowly going away. I'm saying leave it. It's okay.
पर
It's
ये
okay.
पॉइंट तो
Yeah.
अगर हम मतलब सोच लें और रखें अपने दिमाग में,
हाँ.
जिसको बोलते हैं आसक्ति रहित प्रेम,
हाँ.
है ना?
तो
प्रेम
उसे
करना है,
okay, fine.
कोई अटैचमेंट बहुत ज्यादा नहीं है, बहुत आसक्ति नहीं है, लेकिन प्रेम है बस.
Because in my mind the thought always comes कि जो आप बताते हो कि वो भी आत्मा है.
हाँ.
Ultimately मैं भी आत्मा हूँ. So I
आत्मा ही है
keep on
सब.
saying कि हम
हाँ.
तो एक ही है ना. तो मैं
बिल्कुल.
क्यों? Why
क्यों?
should I harbor
हाँ.
a dislike or a
Dislike
negative
or-
feeling?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day तो हम सेम ही है.
हम्म.
तो छोड़ दो, कोई बात नहीं. उसने नहीं realize किया, मैंने realize कर लिया.
Yeah.
It's fine. And then that gives you peace of mind. आप कम से कम peaceful अपने
Yeah.
अंदर हो
So
जाओ.
we should not be proud of anything that we have so much money or we have this that. So maybe in next incarnation we would not have that much comfort or all those things. So क्या होता है, बहुत सारी स्टोरीज पढ़ी हैं कि एक जो है मालिक होता है, जो एक जन्म में मालिक है, वो अगले जन्म में उसी का नौकर भी बन सकता है. तो इसलिए we have to like behave nicely with our servants and staff and everything.
I think ये last time भी किसी ने share
हाँ.
किया था कि अपने staff के साथ
स्टाफ के साथ बहुत अच्छे से रहना
करना
चाहिए. लाइक अभी लाइक एक वैसे ही बता रही हूँ एग्जांपल के लिए. अभी पीछे मेरी मेड बीमार थी, मैंने उसको बोला तू 1 हफ्ते की छुट्टी ले ले, और कह रही नहीं दीदी काम कैसे होगा. मैंने कहा मैं कर लूंगी, तू छोड़ दे. तो माय सन आस्क्ड मी ऐसे आपने कैसे 1 हफ्ते की छुट्टी दे दी. मैंने कहा देख मेरे दिमाग में ये चल रहा था कि आज ये मेरी मेड है, हो सकता है अगले जन्म में मैं इसके घर में मेड हूँ, तो कम से कम वो मेरे साथ नाइसली बिहेव करेगी उस टाइम. तो लाइक व्हाट गोज अराउंड कम्स अराउंड. तो आज किसी के साथ अच्छे से बिहेव कर लो, हो सकता है कल को हमारे को भी अच्छे बिहेवियर की जरूरत पड़े. तो आज किसी को खाना खिलाते हो सकता है अगले जन्म में वो भी आपको खाना खिला देगा, है ना? यही तो बोलते हैं कि भाई जो आप कर रहे हो वही आपके सामने आना है. तो अच्छे thoughts तो अच्छा कुछ कर
One
लो.
more thing is the deeper understanding of things. Like if I've not liked somebody's behavior,
Yeah.
to get into a root cause analysis कि क्यों नहीं अच्छा लगा, what I was expecting something. So as he had told us repeatedly कि ultimately वो मैं हूँ जो मुझे मतलब ये चाहिए था मुझे नहीं मिला. So that is why I didn't like it. And वही that opposites में
Correct.
हम जो रहते हैं
Yes.
all the time.
Okay, let's hear some more people. People who have not spoken.
No, that Manju.
एक्चुअली मैं शुरू से ही चाहती थी कि कभी कोई मेरे को ऐसी अपॉर्चुनिटी मिले कि मैं गीता को समझूं सुनूं ऐसे. तो मेरी लाइफ
आपका नाम जो है उनको मालूम है?
नो आई नो.
Actually, but others also, others also, just for the.
जब मेरी लाइफ में इतनी बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी आई तो हैप्पीली मैंने तो ज्वाइन किया और मैं हर एक क्लास अटेंड करती हूँ. इससे मेरे अंदर इंटरनली मतलब चेंजेस आ रहे हैं. जैसे कि घर में जैसे बिल्कुल पीसफुल रहना, कोई एजिटेट नहीं होना, किसी पे गुस्सा नहीं करना ज़्यादा. अपने गुस्से को मैं काफ़ी कंट्रोल मतलब कि ना कर पा रही हूँ. तो बाकी सब में एक ही आत्मा है तो सबके साथ अच्छा बिहेव करो. कोई गलत भी बोलता है तो जस्ट भूल जाओ या इग्नोर करो. अपने आप को पीसफुल रखो. वो मेरी कोशिश है बस. और बाकी जैसे आप कहते हो कि ध्यान योग वगैरह उस तरफ भी मेरा मन जा रहा है. तो आई स्टार्ट डूइंग दैट. आई एम रियली ग्रेटफुल.
Very good. Manu.
Okay. I'm Anjana. And yeah, I have tried doing Gita classes for a number of years, online and all kinds, but it never really worked out until this time. And I did try even the other group, but I think that was midway. I just tried to attend one class that didn't work. But this one, I think, because we've done it from the beginning, and the fact that Rajanji gave the Gitas out, I don't know, somehow the whole process was so it was just so nice. That first session that we had, it was so touching, and it was, there was such a nice feeling of peacefulness and calm in the room, and the whole energy was so good. Maybe that's the reason why, I don't know. And then in the Zenith Hall, and it was such a nice committed group of people. I just, like even today, it was quite tough for me to come actually, because my daughter is visiting with her family. But I just, though it was late, but I just felt I had to come. So there's a certain feeling of commitment and a desire, genuine desire to come and be part of the discussion, I think. And I feel bad that if I'm not able to come. Mostly if I'm traveling, I'm not able to attend. But there's definitely a feeling of commitment. And though I can't say that I'm doing any homework, or I don't read up on it after the class, to be honest. But I just feel I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I just come, attend, whatever I absorb. And I'm definitely seeing a change. And I think the biggest takeaway for me has been that do things for people without expectation. I think that is a big change for me. I mean, like, I'm not looking at the outcome. I'm just letting that whole way of thinking go. So I think that has definitely been a shift, which I credit to this class. So thank you, Rajan, and everybody else. I think it's been an amazing experience, and I hope to continue attending these classes.
Thank you. On popular demand. बोलिए. बोलिए.
And I'd like to thank the two malas as well. That it's because of them that we have this group. Yeah.
नहीं? बोलो ना. Who's
Yeah,
next now?
Thank the two malas.
Dalia, you
Not
want to
me,
say, Acha? No, I think he'll do the talking.
What background
Yeah.
brought you, if at all, childhood, anything from your family, any impressions you carry?
Yeah, it'll be short, but I can't speak. So yeah, I have a very close cousin. I'm very close to her. She's in London, and she used to do Gita classes. And every trip, she used to say, my Gita class is really changing me, and this and that. So I tried to form a Gita class without knowing what Gita is all about. Nobody was interested, so that didn't work. Then I did Gita class in the Sanskrit full format. We had to give exams. I got bored because at this age, if you have to give exams, though it was very nice, they were very, very, very good. Yeah, so then I came to this class and it pulls me. I'm having a few health challenges, but I do, attend the online, no matter what. And I didn't know, of course, it was so profound. When you started teaching us, I didn't know it was so profound. And we all know what is wrong and right. Even a thief knows that he doesn't actually need to steal, he needs to work and earn that money. But the reinforcement every week, it sets you thinking. Oh, by the way, I'm Dahlia. Yeah, sorry, I didn't say that. Yeah, so yeah, and it sets you thinking, and hopefully I'll implement this life. I've not yet. I haven't. My anger is massive. But yeah, one thing, Sakti Rahit, I really believe in it since a child because I lost my father very young. I don't expect anything from him. In fact, I get a lot of scolding from my family members. They're very nice, but I am like that. But I think personalities are such, what you've gone through in life, you know maybe you had to hear a few things because of your mother, because she needed help, that kind of a thing. I feel it's your personality which makes you like that. But then again, I'm reading it in Gita, which is so good. I really believe in it. Do not expect anything, you know uh, and it's very nice. Why should you expect? You go and help. And I don't feel that I'm helping, so again, I'm reading it in Gita, so I'm loving that bit. And there are other reinforcements, of course, and which is making me think. I'm still on the thinking stage. And one thing I want to just, I keep telling Rahul, tell me if I'm wrong. The fact that he's saying you pray to me, pray to me, and you give everything and all, isn't that asking for something? So that is one question which bothers me. When we are being told that you should not do this thing, and he's saying that you do this and do that, and so that's a question which is very much in my mind. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Rahul is trying to duck.
No, I thought the others should finish because but you don't have to hold it.
No, I think I'll just want to make sure that we capture what you're saying. Yeah. आप इधर आ जाओ, फिर हम यहाँ आ जाओ, यहाँ रख देती हूँ मैं, यहाँ आ जाओ अब आप just make sure that you can look in the camera.
Okay. Well, extempore speeches can be boring, so my excuse is up front. But several years ago, I was in a small workshop with some of my colleagues, and the HR guides who took us through that were trying to type us into what kind of person you are. For whatever reason, they concluded that I come in the category of something called a wanderer who wanders around. And it came to my mind now because I was trying to figure out what has been my engagement with the Gita. It's been over 6 decades that I did my thread ceremony, family with my elder siblings. And at that time, somebody very kindly gave us Chakravarti Rajagopachali's translation of the two, the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. I read the Ramayana first. As a 9-year-old, I had some questions about the protagonist and his behavior. Then I read the Mahabharata. And I finished all these in a few days because my finals were just a few weeks away in school. And there was a mention in the Mahabharata of the Gita. So I went through the things that were given to us. And there was a small Bhagwad Gita that was lying there. And that book traveled with me for a couple of, at least 3 decades, half my life. till somebody told the family that, you shouldn't be keeping these books about battles and stuff like that in the house. So the Mahabharata went out of the house, the Bengali edition went out, the English edition went out, the Bhagwad Gita disappeared from my bedstand. I don't know where it went. So it wandered off. What did remain over the years is my attachment with being in the learning process. So I keep moving from one learning curve to another. It's part of my persona. Something comes up which engages me, I start. At some point in time, I get onto an indifference curve and move on to some other learning curve. So between the wandering and this learning curve, a year ago, all of a sudden I found myself with Rajan and this amazing group with the Gita. Now, where am I with this? I'm very clearly on a learning curve. And in this, at the one end, there is the nitty-gritty of each shloka, which has meaning, which tries to convey something. As Dalia just said, what you read in one shloka in this chapter then reinforces what you have read somewhere else. I'm yet to absorb the full bit of what we have done, even so far, to be able to say, hey, chapter 2, I read that, and now I'm reading this. But those of you who have perhaps done more of it in the years gone by would be able to do that. So I am in that learning curve of the Gita. But the other side of the learning curve is the big picture. And I think I ponder that should I be looking or investing more time in understanding that aspect of what is this big thing that Vasudev is all about? Or do I invest more of my limited time? At my age, I don't have much time, whatever reason, with due regard to those older than me sitting around here. But, or do I spend more time, getting into each shloka and getting the nitty-gritty of each one of them? And as Rajan knows, I have this habit of exploring, wanderer after all. So then, some time back, I checked with him about the Brahma Sutra, and I've read a few pages there. And it's fascinating reading. Here you get a paragraph out of one shloka. There, 3 words translates into pages. It reinforces a lot of what we are doing here, have been doing and will continue to do. But as I said, this is part of the journey of exploration. It's part of the journey of the learning curve, as I keep calling it. And where will it lead me? I do not know. Has the last 1 year done something in which I have changed? I think the jury is out on that. I can't.
You can check with Dalia if you want.
By all means, the rest of the jury is out, so jury members can respond. But it's quite fascinating in its own way, because I think there are as many questions as there are answers. At some point in time, maybe the questions will become less, but I have no answer to that question either at this stage. But I am indeed, shall I say, humbled and grateful to be a part of this group. And the fact that very often you listen to me taking off in different directions, I can only thank all of you for that, and to our guide to let me take off the way I do sometimes. But that's about it.
Thank you.
Keep sitting.
I would like to add my
Yes, please.
most of us, I think we come from a religious background, from families. It's true for me also. Like in my house, there was always a lot of puja going on, and we had to sit and do aarti every morning and evening. But when we started going to school, mornings were different. So in the evening, every day, we had to sit and do aarti and some this thing, some religious songs and all, everything in our house before we had dinner. So I think all that, kind of developed a interest in me in religion. And I found that religion gave a lot of peace and calm to my parents. I saw it, that it gave a lot of calm and patience in all kind of whatever difficulties they faced in life. That was truly seen by me. So I believed that religion gives us peace and calm. And then, over the period, like I tried going to various religious places, and like there's so many things, which you come across, like Shri Ravi Shankar, I went, and Art of Living I did. Then Brahma Kumari's also some lectures I attended. But I wasn't very satisfied. And I realized finally they're all saying the same thing which is written in Gita. I mean, whatever they were saying and expressing, I thought it is all coming. Whatever is written in Gita, they are just repeating that to us in some way or the other. So finally I tried reading Gita, but on my own I couldn't do it. I would go through few pages and then, like couldn't understand it so much, so give up. Then I started listening online, but that also, there would be some disruptions in the house or something, so that online lecture also wouldn't get finished. If for 1 hour lecture also some disturbance would have something or the happen, or I would give up in between. So it wasn't working for me. Then I heard about these classes. So here you come for 1 hour, you're really sitting here, giving all your attention and trying to learn and absorb whatever is being said without any distractions which are there at home and other places. So, and I really found that very effective, that way. I, of course, missed the first two chapters because I didn't know the classes were being held. So I came from third chapter. So I little bit at the beginning. Even still, when I read those first two chapters, I'm not able to get the gist of it. Like after third chapter, I could understand. Like the four pillars of Gita, which I thought the Karam Yoga and the Dhyan Yoga and Bhakti Yoga and the fourth one, no,
Yeah.
Gyan Yoga. The four pillars. So I've seen, people can get liberation or self-realization through any of those four paths. Because, for some people, just Gyan can lead them to self-realizations. For some, just by good karmas, they can go to the self-realization. So I thought all the four paths, but there is a combination of paths also which will lead you to self-realization. That I thought. So for each, the journey is different, and for each of us, it is how we go through life in that. But I always feel there is a divinity within us, and that divinity we see occasionally. A lot of people, like somebody singing a very beautiful bhajan, and if you see the face, you can see the divinity in that person. A guru, you can see the divinity in that person. Some artist, if he makes something very nice and he says, I'm being inspired by a divine inspiration. All these famous artists like Van Gogh and I mean, they have been really been inspired. All the musicians say, you see, Mozart and all, they've all been divinely inspired. That's not a creation of a normal human being, I would say. So there is a divinity inside us which we should be able to express. And I think Gita lets you express that, explore that divinity and try to express it also. I think that. Thank you so much, Rajan.
Thank you very
And
much.
your name?
Nita.
She's from Park Place. Nita is from Park Place.
My brother-in-law said he does guitar classes and he met you also here. He's my sister's husband.
Okay.
I think मनु चला गया कैमरा
अब
मनु
मनु
चला गया साधना के
मनु-
पास चला गया मनु आप बोलो
मुझे इतना अच्छा आप लोगों ने इतना अच्छा बोला सबने मुझे इतना अच्छा बोलना नहीं आता है सो आई जस्ट फील कि हम गीता को चूज नहीं करते हैं गीता हमको चूज करती है so the first copy I ever received was when I was 23 years old मैंने पढ़ना शुरू किया और हमारी पोस्टिंग आ गई दोहा कतर सो मुस्लिम कंट्रीज में उस टाइम यू आर नॉट सपोज टू कैरी, तो मेरी वो गीता यहीं रह गई। और हमारी कुछ लोगों को पता है हमारी हर 3 साल में एक नए कंट्री में पोस्टिंग हो जाती थी। जब हम क्रेस्ट वापस आए तो क्रेस्ट सीम लाइक अ परमानेंट रेजिडेंस, यू नो, उससे पहले परमानेंट रेजिडेंस नहीं होता था। फिर हमने लास्ट ईयर शुभा जी का कॉन्सर्ट किया एंड आई गॉट टू वर्क विद राजन जी। एंड वहाँ पे उन्होंने मुझे बताया अबाउट गीता क्लासेस एंड ऑल दैट। ऐसे नया बैच जब भी शुरू होगा आई वांट टू जॉइन। नया बैच शुरू हुआ और हम लाइब्रेरी में थे और वहाँ पे इतनी सारी भगवत गीता पढ़ी हुई थी एंड हमने पूछा कि डू वी हैव टू पे। उन्होंने बोला कि नहीं, इसको आप प्रसाद की तरह ग्रहण करो। So first thing started from there, as Manju also said. सबने I think सबने सारे points cover कर लिए हैं, मेरे पास कुछ ज़्यादा बचा नहीं है, but वहाँ से हमने कर्म, धर्म, doership, you are not the doer, devotion and discipline, ये मेरे कुछ पॉइंट्स बन गए जिसके अराउंड मैंने लास्ट अभी 1 साल हो गया, पता भी नहीं चला till I read that मैसेज कि it's 1 year। बट ये 5-6 चीजें मैंने बहुत प्रैक्टिस की। आई कम फ्रॉम अ बैकग्राउंड, आई हैव लाइक यू नो आई कम फ्रॉम अ सोशल वर्क बैकग्राउंड। तो धर्म कम्युनिटी सर्विस वैसे भी इट इज वेरी ऑर्गेनिक, लाइक हम करते हैं वो, बट उसका जो एक्सपेंशन हुआ, मतलब समवेयर एवरीथिंग वाज ऑलरेडी इनसाइड मी। मैंने उस सब चीजों को एक्सपैंड किया, मैंने मल्टीप्लाई किया, और दैट होल थिंग ऑफ सरेंडर आफ्टर दैट मेड इट स्वीटर। सो सब कुछ एकदम मीठा हो गया। आज मेरी मॉम को गए हुए 40वां दिन है, 40 days हुए हैं मेरी मॉम को। आई जस्ट लॉस्ट माई मॉम रिसेंटली एंड द एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो केम, बोलते ना, विद लॉट ऑफ स्ट्रेंथ एंड करेज बिकॉज ऑफ गीता क्लासेस। वो भी मैं इसको बहुत आई ओ इट टू गीता क्लासेस कि उसको एक चीज को टू लूज अ पेरेंट। एंड आई थिंक मैं उस ट्यूसडे को, उस क्लास के बाद मैं यहाँ आ गई थी। आफ्टर 1 week आई वाज अटेंडिंग द क्लास। सो वो जो आपको स्ट्रेंथ, करेज, एक्सेप्टेंस, सरेंडर एंड वो सारी चीजें हमने एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिस की हैं सबने। और वो वाला ग्रुप जो हमने लाइब्रेरी में यहाँ पे आज है और जेनिथ हॉल में था, उसमें से बहुत लोग नहीं हैं, काफी कम लोग हैं। बट वही वाली बात है कि हम गीता को चूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, गीता ने हमको चूज किया। सो आई एम वेरी वेरी ग्रेटफुल फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू, बिकॉज संगत बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट होती है यहाँ पे। इट्स वेरी वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट, हम लोग उसको बहुत मानते हैं। सो ग्रेटिट्यूड फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू।
थैंक यू।
नानी, आप कुछ बोलोगे?
ये बोलने से
थोड़ा सा
इतना संतोष हो गया है।
संतोष, फिर भी थोड़ा सा, 2 शब्द।
इतना दिन भर गया है।
नानी, आप अपना वो
Say that,
श्लोक पढ़ते हैं ना।
I was brought up in a very religious atmosphere. But I had a very wrong concept about religion. Very wrong. गीता के 2-4 चैप्टर जबानी कर लिए, थोड़े कृष्ण को श्लोक बोल दिए, विष्णु सहस्त्र नाम बोला था कि religion. Never went really inside. Then once when me and my husband were traveling, we took our mother-in-law to the Vatican City. She can't walk, so we made her sit in a place. So we go and come back. When saw the Vatican City, we came back. My mother-in-law was sitting with tears in her eyes. I said, "वो अकेला छोड़ा तो she's upset." No, सामने Mother Mary with Christ in his lap. lap में वो पिक्चर देखा तो उसको इतना रोए। Then I understood that there is only one religion. There is no difference in, because she was totally uneducated. But she got so much more with the picture. Then we were not allowed to go to the Jain temple or Sikh Gurudwara or a church. No, only Krishna Hindu temple you have to go. So that was the atmosphere. Then my eyes opened that this is no good. We have to accept all the religion.
Hello. Anji ma'am.
Correct.
Hello.
Hmm.
After that, I'm trying to accept all the religion. Though I have not understood exactly the religion, but still trying to learn something. Gita पढ़ी बहुत टाइम पर what is omnipresent, omniscient समझ में नहीं आ रहा था लिखना तो है नहीं कहीं. Then I tried to see the nature, God in nature. It felt for the flowers, colors, sky. And I'm trying to see the omnipresence, omniscient God in everything.
Very nice.
And that is Vivekananda one small sentence. Each soul is potentially divine.
Hmm. Yes.
So no difference. Everybody is the same. The servant and the children, the daughter, the grand, all are same. Trying to absorb that. Still trying and trying. I wish I will absorb little more now.
What's in that?
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Anybody who's
I think Sadhna wanted to say something.
Actually, everybody has so beautifully and expressed so nicely. I'm really thankful to the whole crowd and to Rajanji for bringing out our inner self and realization. It's been a good journey, and my take-home message after every class there has been a take-home message, and it's brought out a lot of good things in us, like our behavior with friends and relatives, not to react in public, and it's been a big change. And thank you all.
Thank you. दीप जी आ जाइए आप भी कुछ बोलिए हाँ हाँ इधर आ जाइए
It's on record. So I was very much interested in to understand about Gita somehow. So I went for some Vedanta Society class in Calcutta. I was living in Calcutta, so in Birla Temple there's a big space where it happens every week. So 2 classes I went, I could not understand anything, so stopped. And then I picked up a book called the My Gita Devi Dutt. So Patnaik. So couldn't understand. So it didn't interest me. So I was not able to understand. And then it so happened that in over here somehow I came to know from her that there's a Gita class, and then I told yes, I'm interested to join. And the things were very simple, and it was a beautiful, say, journey. I was able to understand, connect, and and I would say that I'm not very regular in all the classes, so I travel, and then in almost 50% of the classes I miss. So, but still, I picked up I think the basics, and I thought that if I am able to at least follow that, it'll create a lot of change in me. And so the first thing was that I was always a angry young man. So I started meditation around 2 years back. So there was a change that a lot of anger was in control. But after joining and understanding Gita, there was quite a big change that there was almost 90% I was in control, and things started changing, and the the way I used to think that changed, the way I used to see things changed, and so in the beginning, I think I discussed also when we were going through that the karm yoga and karma yogi, that I gave you an example that Ratan
Correct.
Tata and his family, definitely they are karma yogi, and you said yes, it is. So there the things changed, that yeah, this is a path I should follow, and I'm trying to do that. It's very say difficult because a lot of say you get distorted with a lot of say around, say when you are in the class and when you're out of the class, it's totally two different things. You try to remind yourself that no, this is the uh, way I should think and all those things, but so the world is such that it creates a lot of disruptions. So it's not an easy path so to follow 100%, but it's I'm still trying to do that, yeah, keep on working on things. That's so I would say that yeah, it's made a lot of uh, change in myself, and definitely it has impacted a lot of people around me, and that is very important. Yeah. So thank you,
Thank you very
Rajan.
much. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, and everyone over here. That so you people, when all of us are together, then I think it makes a difference, because if you go and listen, if you watch the YouTube on YouTube, it doesn't interest you. So whenever you are in the class, the total, I think the aura, the vibrations are very strong over here.
The energies.
Yeah, it is.
Combined.
It has got a lot of energy. You feel that energy, and you are able to connect. You are able to understand. Thank you, everyone.
And we actually miss, जो भी अगर कोई नहीं होता है ना, तो we miss that person, like you know, चाहे बात हो, अभी नाम भी बहुतों के आज पता चल रहे हैं, but फिर भी आप वो देखते हो कि आज वो नहीं है यहाँ पे.
Yeah,
That's a strong connection, you know. So
Like I know mostly Gita buddies. I mean, I call you all Gita buddies. I don't know many out here.
So 1 year, how it passed,
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
since it was a celebration, and somehow I was able to, my presentation was over, so I took a permission and
Thank you.
came.
Thank you very much.
And you are?
And see, if you want to come, otherwise it takes 1.5 hours to reach Crest from Delhi. So today it was 1 hour. I could. Otherwise it was impossible. I started at 5:05 from Taj Mansingh, and I was here.
that's really good.
6:50.
But that's also the discipline which I was mentioning. सबको टावर से उतर के आने में यहाँ पे बिल्कुल भी टाइम नहीं लगेगा, बट ये जो वही फॉर्म एंड स्ट्रक्चर जो हमको यहाँ पे भी क्लास में आने में भी लगता है, इट्स एग्जैक्टली सेम थिंग विद मी आल्सो. लाइक आज के ट्यूसडे के दिन एवरीवन नोज कि अच्छा गीता क्लास है, सबको पता है गीता क्लास है, तो फोन नहीं करना है उस टाइम पे.
So everyone is looking forward.
Yeah, we all look forward.
So it has taken 1 year for everyone to realize you have to keep repeating आज गीता क्लास है.
No, thank you.
Takes them also
In
6-7
fact, I work with this NGO ना with Dr. Alka. वहाँ पे कोई मुझे मिला और उन्होंने बोला कि आप प्रेस से हो और आपकी गीता क्लास में होती है. Imagine, like you know, कहाँ फरीदाबाद में in an NGO कोई किसी को नहीं जानता है, वहाँ पे भी कोई मिला कि आपके वहाँ पे प्रेस में गीता क्लास होती है, उसमें ज्योति जाती हैं. मैंने बोला शायद मैं नाम, मैंने बोला जानती होंगी, मुझे आप फोटो दिखाओ. That's how we met. He said she know my name.
She recognized.
Yeah. So Gita
Because I have
class-
spoken about my Gita class to
Yeah,
many
everyone knows.
He's Pradeep. नाम बताया नहीं ना, तो इसलिए.
Beautiful, beautiful.
You have Anju about it.
आपने कुछ नहीं बोला.
I'm Dolly, come on.
मुझे पता ही नहीं था आज ये कुछ बोला है, you know. But I just want to say one thing only कि जो हम यहाँ पे बोलते हैं या सीख रहे हैं, तो जो हम बोल रहे हैं एक्चुअली उसको अपनी लाइफ में हम अडेप्ट भी कर रहे हैं या नहीं कर रहे हैं, you know. That is more important, because sometimes we are just using words. Either we are pleasing somebody or we are trying to please ourselves, that way. So, but I try to implement, these things in my life.
One thing related to this I wanted to say.
But public speaking में थोड़ा मुझे anxiety issue होता है, that's why I don't talk much. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
It's not that we were not nice earlier or we were not on the right path earlier. Like someone said, it is being reinforced. And also, Gita is answering a lot of questions about life. It teaches us a lot about, what is this life. Sometimes you do think, कि क्या है, हम कहाँ जा रहे हैं, हम क्या कर रहे हैं. So, we are able to get those answers also.
वो एक ठहराव देता है, right? Because you kind of reinforce your own beliefs, thinking, etc. So it gives you that ठहराव in life also.
सभी को पता है कुछ लेकर नहीं जाना है, फिर भी लगे रहते हैं ना, हंसते हैं, ये भी मेरा है, ये भी मेरा है.
I think there's a time for everything. From my background, I should be interested in the Bhagwad Gita and religious things right from my childhood, which really didn't happen. There's a time for everything. My Nanaji, he was a doctor in the army, in the British Army at that time, but he was an authority on the Bhagwad Gita, and he was also an authority on the Bible, and he was a very good orator. So he was called to the churches to give the Sunday sermon, which is very, very unusual, and he used to compare the teachings of the Sermon on the Mount in the Bible with the teachings of Lord Krishna in the Gita. Absolutely the same. My mother was also a very, very learned person. She studied medicine. She was aiming to be a doctor, but fate willed otherwise. But she was a very spiritual, very learned person, and I did not appreciate her at that age. I thought the ladies in stilettos and chiffons were the smart ones, but it was my mother actually who was the one who was really something. But with maturity, things change. And all of us want to be happy. People have management books to make you happy. The Gita is the handbook for happy living. Now, what makes you happy? When you don't have any expectations. If I have any expectations, it is going to lead to disappointment. When I do my duty and I don't have any expectation, then there's no cause for disappointment, isn't it? So that is the fundamental teaching of the Gita. कि do not expect anything. अपना फर्ज करो, अपनी ड्यूटी करो, और कुछ भी expect मत करो. Expectation can be small, it can be very big also. People have huge expectations from their children. हमने तुम्हारा ये किया, वो किया, now. No, you've done your duty and zero expectations. And when you have no expectations, you'll be surprised how much comes, and without your asking for it. So it's very beautiful that you don't expect anything from anyone. The number 2 thing is कि Gita हम सब में वही आत्मा है. So if I cause pain to you, my atma is the same. It has to boomerang on me also, isn't it? So my thinking extends to even animals and birds and nature. I'm a nature lover also. Okay. Then in my view of things, nature is a proof of the divine. When I see something beautiful in nature, when I see the natural cycles, how they move in perfect harmony, the seasons, the animals, it's absolutely marvelous. If you even observe a bird from the time she's laid eggs and how she looks after the eggs, she teaches the young ones to fly. It is absolutely amazing. And who teaches her all that? How to look after the little ones? I had a pair of pigeons. I saw them recently from the egg onwards, and I was wondering. I said, there are so many eagles and crows. How will the little ones survive? So when they hatched out, they would just lie flat on the earthen pot in which they were. So you could not distinguish the bird from the pot and who told them to be like that. And they would only raise their heads when the mother would come to feed them something. It was absolutely amazing. And the father was nowhere to be seen. So once the little birds were starting to learn how to fly and they were hopping from one place to another, a male emerged. So then they divided. There was a division of labor. One would look after the little ones and they'd frighten away the crows or whoever came, and the other one would get food. So turn by turn, it was absolutely, the journey was amazing until they flew away. Then they flew away. I mean, you're not clinging to them like you shouldn't cling to your children. Once they are grown up and they're on their own, let them fly away. And the whole attitude towards life, that it's a journey. I am here on a journey. I am in a inn. It's not my permanent home. My permanent home is elsewhere. So I am not really perturbed. Is my home very nice? If it is not nice, are the people very conducive? Because I am on a journey. मेरा जो घर है वो कहीं और है. वो बार बार गीता में दोहराया जाता है कि आप आत्मा हो और आप you know you are beyond this world. So ultimately, it gives you a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. It straightens out everything, and you are a better person. And since you are not judgmental and you don't expect anything from anybody, it comes back, really, with interest. So basically, it is this handbook for happy living, which I said, I think, in my earlier thing. And we all want to be happy. And that is why we come for the Bhagavad Gita. Everyone comes on time, nobody is late and nobody misses it unless they absolutely have to. So this is the testament that it is doing something for us. And thank you so much, Rajan.
Thank you. Thank
Rajan
you.
is always bang on time. It's one thing I really appreciate, among many other things.
I'll just add one thing. जब हमने स्टार्ट किया था इनिशियली, सो हम लोग अपने अपने जो भी चाइल्डहुड से और सारा जब हम बोल रहे हैं ना कि ऐड कर रहे हैं कि पीछे का हम पेरेंट्स को भी ग्रैटिट्यूड दे रहे हैं, ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स को भी ग्रैटिट्यूड दे रहे हैं. सो गुरबानी में जो मैं सरेंडर का बोल रही हूँ, गुरबानी में हम बोलते हैं कि मैं सोते हुए पक्षी को भी नीचे नहीं गिरने देता पेड़ से रात को. So that much faith you should have in me, क्योंकि वो तो गिर सकता है ना, उसके नेस्ट होता है वहाँ पे पेड़, डाली से नहीं गिरने देता. तो that is something. And दूसरा जो कम्युनिटी सर्विस का सिखिज्म में जो हम लोग प्रैक्टिस वैसे भी करते हैं, कम्युनिटी सर्विस जो धर्मा में आप बोलते हो, फॉर द लार्जर गुड ऑफ द कम्युनिटी, वो हम 10 पंथ उसमें लेके चलते हैं पहले से ही. So these small things are again reinforced so organically कि एक और रिवीजन होता जाता है कि हाँ शायद ये हर ट्यूसडे हर मंगलवार.
So you had also suggested quantum physics. To read that book of quantum physics. So that was also very, I think, nice read.
Yeah.
To understand how the subjects are there.
Yeah. How
What
scientifically
we see
also.
and what is the reality. Scientifically, I could correlate that.
And also the cold hard logic that is offered by Adi Shankara in the way you teach the subject. How you bring it out in this subject line by line, word by word. वो संधि तोड़ के I've got so many even psychological. Can I just give one simple example? We all are saying we get takeaways in every class. I'll give one recent example what we
Yes.
did. I don't know whether it's Thursday class or Tuesday class, but think as the same thing is that when this thing about krodh, what Anita was saying, krodh, gussa aata hai hum sabko. So there are two stages that you brought out, Rajan, based on the line. Adi Shankara's cold, hard, clear logic कि क्रोध का एक लेवल है ऑफ एवोल्यूशन की क्रोध से अक्रोध में आना. मीन गुस्सा चढ़ गया, फिर समझना कि मेरे में क्या कॉज है एंड शांत हो जाना. बट an even higher level is क्षमा, which I found so fascinating कि पहले क्रोध आया ही नहीं, तो शांत होने का सवाल ही नहीं, आया ही नहीं क्रोध. So I mean stuff like that. These are the takeaways. It gives us what we can do, what is being offered. So yeah, thank you. Really, thank you for bringing it out like
So
that.
in-
Adi Shankara tradition.
In chapter 16, he gives you definitions of all these things. So he talks about a krodh, which is to say that you are basically pushing your anger down when you realize you are angry. Okay, so you have anger and then you do something about it. Now the question is, why should anger arise? Okay, that is what was mentioned. So we'll come to more of that as we go along. Just now we are at finishing Karma Yoga. We'll get to Bhakti. In Bhakti, the question which you're raising, I'm talking to you, Dalia, that she says, ki, why is he asking us to, come to him? Because he's offering himself because he wants to do something for you. Okay. He has nothing which he wants for himself. And he'll be talking about it later on also. So when we finish the Bhakti Yoga chapters, he'll be, in some of the shlokas, he'll be talking about that also. He says, I do it only because I want to help all these people to find their way out. Okay. So that's why he does it. He has got no reason that he wants you to come and,
Like a selfless teacher.
yeah. And he knows, see, because when we understand the Sagun and Nirgun, Krishna or Sagun is mapping the entire set of attributes which we are offering to Nirgun. Okay, except for the fact that he is manifesting himself. That's all. Okay, and that is how we see that attribution happening between the Nirgun and Sagun. So what happens? We are able to understand only Sagun. Nirgun is going to be understood in a different way. We'll come to that. Okay? And to understand it even then, it can be a challenge. Okay. So that's why we stay with Sagun. We are in the Dvait mode. There is somebody whom we worship. But actually speaking, we are that. I am that. And if you see that in yourself, you start figuring out, actually, I am that. Then you understand that this is only meant to help me. This is the sadhan satya which we spoke about. Thank you very much. I don't think we'll speak more, and it is already beyond time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Everyone really helps in making this class happen. Please do ask questions, raise issues, so that we can all learn from it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. And we'll have prasad for everybody. So please take one box, take 2 boxes, whatever you want. It's all displayed there.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Yeah, Sanjay and I go back to
batchmates.
right. We were batchmates, and he's doing a wonderful thing